Hi guys, welcome to gluten-free, guilt-free, gluten-free baguette. That's the real bread. It has nice classic crunchy crust and you can see nice air pockets inside throughout, and the texture is light. And this is eggless, and I'm also giving dairy-free alternatives for you. So first we will activate the yeast. For this you will need warm water. Then add some sugar or honey. Give it a mix. Then add dry and instant yeast. This is gluten-free yeast. Give it a mix. Combine everything well and keep this aside for about 5 to 10 minutes or until the froth appears. If it does not appear, then don't use that yeast. Then for replacing egg, I'm making chia egg. So here chia seeds, add some warm water. Alternatively, you can use flax egg. For that you will need 1 tablespoon of flaxseed powder and 3 tablespoons of water. Now give it a mix and keep this aside for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now let's mix the dry ingredients. So first, gluten-free all-purpose or baking flour. I'm using my homemade blend. You can find the recipe link in the description box. And this is the best homemade flour blend. I have also made bread with it. And here you can see our yeast is activated. I'm adding it. I have to add it at this point only before adding the remaining dry ingredients because the froth was coming too much. Now I'm going to add first psyllium husk. And my homemade gluten-free blend already contains xanthan gum, so I'm not adding xanthan gum. Then the secret ingredient, milk powder. For dairy-free version, you can also use dairy-free milk powder or coconut powder. Then add apple cider vinegar. Then our chia egg or your flax egg. Then some salt. Give it a mix. First, mix all the ingredients, combine everything well, and then add water little by little at a time. And this is warm water I'm adding. If you have stand mixer, you can directly knead the dough in the stand mixer itself. But I have this hand mixer, so I'm mixing everything with a hand mixer. I'm adding water little by little at a time because flour needs to absorb the water, and then we will get an idea how much water we need to add. You can see it's very sticky. I started with minimum speed and then gradually increased it to maximum. So about 5 to 7 minutes I'm kneading this flour, and you can see it's sticky at this time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let it rest for about 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes you can see it's non-sticky. Now we will just mix again with the spatula. Then I'll apply some oil because inside it is a bit sticky. If you have observed, we have not added oil in the flour while kneading because we are going to apply it while making the dough. So I'm applying some oil to prevent sticking on my hands and making it pliable, and yeah, so I'm just keeping everything together. Now time for the first proof. For that, in a mixing bowl, add some oil, apply some oil on the sides and keep your dough. Then cover it with cling wrap. Keep this dough for proofing in a warm place. It should double in size. Here is the quick tip. So I preheat the oven at 50 degrees Celsius and keep this dough inside the oven itself and switch off the oven. It took around 1 hour for me. Now it has been double in size. The dough has been double in size, nicely risen if you can see. Now remove the cling wrap, apply some oil on your palms and punch the dough. Again, it would be sticky and difficult to manage, but if you apply oil on hands, it would be easier. I'm also going to dust some gluten-free flour. The blend which you have, you can dust on the flat surface and transfer the dough on the flat surface. You can use this kind of thing to remove the dough and then divide the dough in 2 parts. With this proportion of ingredients, I was able to make 2 baguettes. So I'm keeping my baking pan and parchment paper on top of it ready so that we can just transfer this baguette directly on the pan, because again, as I said, it is very difficult to manage this dough because there is a lot of water inside. Again, I'm applying some oil on my palms. Now we will make the shape of the baguette. Just combine everything and roll on the flat surface like this. Shape into a long loaf with pointed ends. And now a bit challenging part, transfer it on the baking pan. Carefully lift it and place it quickly on the baking pan, otherwise it will distort the shape here. And if you can just roll it to make it better, and here you can see, yeah, all well. Now we will make the baguette shape of the remaining dough, the second part. Same process, just roll it, combine everything and roll it like this. And if you can see, it's not sticking on my hand, but it can stick on the flat surface, so just apply some oil on the flat surface too. Roll it, make it the shape and pointed ends. So we will proof it again, so that will be our second proof. Handle it gently. Place it on the baking pan. Gently. You can also give shape on the baking pan itself, but because there is a parchment paper, so you won't be able to give it, you won't be able to roll it that much. And here both are looking very good. So now we will cover this with cotton cloth or muslin cloth and keep this for proofing for about 30 minutes. And in the meanwhile, you can also preheat the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. And here you can see it's nicely proofed and risen. Now time for milk wash. As we are not using egg, I'm giving milk wash. So here there is a milk and some sugar inside. You can also use dairy-free milk for the vegan version. Brush the milk all over and then using a baker's leaf or very sharp knife held at about 45-degree angle, make 3 to 5 long lengthwise slashes in each bucket. Now load the buckets into the oven and bake it at 180 degrees Celsius for about 40 to 45 minutes. Like traditional method, you can also keep boiling water inside the oven, but here after 5 minutes I have removed the buckets and giving milk wash. This is again going inside, and after 40 minutes my buckets are ready. Remove them from oven and cool them on a rack. You can also do toothpick check before removing from the oven. And here you can see it is nicely baked from the bottom also, and it is so soft. You can see the bottom is so soft. The cooking time may vary depending on whether you are using bucket pan or any other baking pan, but when done the baguette should be browning at least slightly and be crunchy when taped. Allow it to cool and then slice it. How lovely. So crunchy it is. You can also store in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 days, but not longer than that because we don't add any preservative. I hope you love this baguette as much we do. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe to my channel. Happy baking. Bye bye.